Shalom, brothers and sisters. It's the Hebrew Life again. I'm Base Jerusalem, and I'm back with another lesson. We're going to call this one, was Jesus hung on the cross, or was he hung on a tree? Yes. If you're a Christian, this video, you probably need to get yourself right before you watch this video, because there's going to be a lot of shockers. After you hear this one, you're going to be running back to your reverend, asking many questions. You're going to find out that many things have been misled and whitewashed and due to the media, internet, pictures, and just hearsay. What man said, man-made traditions. You're going to find out that if you read the scriptures instead of listening to what man says, what your pastor says, what the TV says, what the movie says, then you're going to realize that everything is in the fine print. Everything is in between the lines. Now, to start this off, I'm going to put it out there that if you type in was Jesus hung on a tree, you're going to come to find out that many sources are going to say that he was nailed to a cross. If you type in was Jesus hung on a cross on Google, and you click on something like Bible Hub, as I'm looking at right now, in the New International Version, it says he was hung on a cross. And in the New International Version, the New American Version, all of these different versions, it says he was hung or nailed to a cross. But once you get to the King James Version of the Bible, the version that they've been trying to get you to get away from, saying King James is a white man, and all of these different lies, he was a homosexual, all to take away from the fact that they're trying to rewrite history. In the King James Version, it says that Christ was hung on a tree. Yes, hung on a tree, just like a slave fresh off the ships, fresh out of the South. See, they want to deny the fact that we are the relatives of Christ himself. And we suffer the same curses as him by being hung on a tree. Let's go to Acts chapter 5 to open this can up. Because somebody's lying. Either the pastor's lying or the Most High's lying and his prophets is lying. Let's find out today. We're going to go to Acts chapter 5. Because your preacher ain't going to never read this in church. I just want you to know that if you're in a Christian church, whatever church, Seventh-day Adventist, Jehovah's Witness, it don't matter. They're not going to read to you that Christ was hung on a tree. I know most people watching the video never even heard this before. I taught the Christians before, and I told them this. And even after I read it to them and showed it to them within the scriptures, they still didn't believe me. So it's crazy how powerful visuals in movies like Passion of the Christ and several other movies can be, that you don't even believe what you're reading. You'll just believe whatever you've seen, whatever you heard before you believe what's written within these scriptures. That's ridiculous. Let's go to Acts chapter 5, verse 30. I'm going to start at verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man. And the gods of our father raised up Yeshua, whom you slew and hanged on a tree. There you go right there. We're not done. We got plenty of precepts. But there you go right there. Let me read that again. And Peter answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man. And the God of our fathers raised up Jesus, whom you slew and hanged on a tree. Who you slew and hanged on a tree. Have you ever heard your bishop or your pastor read this? No, you haven't. This is one of the secrets within the scriptures. We're going to go to Acts chapter 10, because this is all the way through the Bible. Like I said before in my previous videos, if the Most High said it and he had his prophet said it, they said it more than once. We're all under one accord. We're all one body. So this is not any type of misprint in the text. I'm going to prove that to you, that this is all throughout the scriptures. Let's go to Acts chapter 10, verse 39. For all you unbelievers out there who don't believe the Hamashiach was black, just like the slaves were black who got hung on a tree. For all the people who just believe in television shows and movies. This is for you. All of the Christians who just can't get from under that pastor thumb. Go to him with this question and see how he tries to misconstrue being hung on a tree. There's no way you can mix up being hung on a tree from nailed on a cross. That's two different things. Jesus was not put on two planks of wood. He was hung on a tree. Just like his brethren, who you took on slave ships to America. Now we're going to go to Acts chapter 10, verse 39. And I'm going to start at verse 38. How Yah anointed Yeshua of Nazareth with the Holy Ghost and with the power, who went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of the devil, for God was with him. And we are witnesses of all things which he did, both in the land of the Jews and in Jerusalem, whom they slew and hanged on a tree. There we go again. I'm 5 minutes in, and there we go again. Acts 10, he's been slew on a tree again. Our people are constantly saying he's been slew on a tree. Nowhere in these scriptures are you going to find he was nailed to a cross. You're not going to read it, but you can read it in the New International Version that's trying to rewrite history. This is why we must stay with the King James Version of the Bible, because the devils that be are rewriting history as we speak. So when you go on any one of these Bible websites, Bible Hub or Bible Study Tool or whatever, the first option they're gonna give you is the New International Version, where it says he was nailed on the cross. They're not gonna give you the true facts, the King James Version, where it says he was hung on a tree. Now we're not done. We're gonna go to Galatians chapter 3, because this is all through the scriptures. It's not a coincidence. It's not a misprint. Yes, you heard it right. Jesus was hung on a tree. Just like a slave in the South. Strange fruit. Just like, I forgot who wrote the song, but yes, Jesus was strange fruit. And they didn't take him down either. Our people, our brethren took him down. I know these pastors are going to come up, well, a tree is wood. I even heard Christians say that. Well, a tree is, a wood, so technically gets across. No. It did not say he was nailed to a plank of wood. It did not say he was nailed to a cross. It did not. He was crucified on a tree, not on a plank of wood. He was hung on a tree. They did many things to Yeshua. They tortured Yeshua. 10 times, 100 times worse than what you've seen in Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ, where he used his own hands to nail Christ's hands to the cross in that movie, because these people are wicked. But before I go off, let's go to Galatians, because we must prove that this is all through the scriptures, and I'm not just making this up. Why would I block my name out the book of life, making up, adding, and jotting and tittling? I don't have time for that. I only have time to educate our people. Galatians 3 and 13. And I'm going to start at verse 12. And the law is not faith, but the man that doeth them shall live in them. Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, curses everyone that hangeth on a tree. Curses everyone that hangeth on a tree. Now, if America is a so-called land that God is going to bless, God bless America, how could they be blessed when a man is hung on a tree in this land? This land has been taken by bad blood. Tell me that. How could this land stand when they left men hanging on trees in the South? A lynching was a picnic was a normal part of a day. You pick a nigga, you get some sandwiches, and you watch him hang. You watch him burn. This is what they did on a daily. On a daily. In every state in the South. It don't make any sense. What they don't want you to know is Christ was a relative of the so-called African Americans in the United States. We have a connection. Christ was hung on a tree. We were hung on a tree. Christ was persecuted. We were persecuted. But we need to understand, black people, what so-called black people don't understand, that Christ or Yeshua died for you. He died for you. He He said in Matthew 15:25, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Let's go there before this video runs out. Let's go to Matthew 15:24. Because what you're gonna find out is they've been lying through TVs, movies, books, and several other things in history, trying to say that Christ was crucified. They want to paint their image of what happened with Christ, what happened with Yeshua. They don't want you to know that he was hung on a tree. They don't want you to know that he was the Most High seed. They will try to put these lies out that he was a child of the flesh, that Mary slept with Joseph. This is what they do. If you read the Jewish Talmud, they said Mary was a whore and Yeshua is in hell burning, in the hot excrement. So they don't believe in Yeshua. Let's go to Matthew 15:24. This is why they don't believe in Yeshua. We're going to find out why they don't believe in Yeshua the HaMashiach. We're going to find out why the New International Version say he was hung on a cross and the King James Version say he was hung on a tree. We're going to find that out. The vices of the devil. We're going to read the whole story. Behold, a woman of Canaan came to the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. As you see, as I'm reading, let me cut that. A devil is an evil spirit. When people say they have a devil over them, that's an evil spirit. It's not what you see in the movies. It's something you could be cured of. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she cried after us. But he answered her and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I'm going to read that again. Because he didn't say I was sent to the lost Christians who believe Jesus hung on the cross but can't even read Acts 5:30. He's not talking, he's not talking to any of these Jehovah's Witnesses. He didn't say I was sent to the Jehovah's Witnesses. He said, let's read it again so I don't get it wrong. Let's read it again. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But let's see why he blessed this woman. Because she acknowledged her place. She knew we were the kings and priests of this earth. But she needed her daughter to be healed. And her faith was unmovable as a mustard seed. And Yeshua acknowledged that. Let's keep reading. Then she came and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs. Now he didn't call this Canaan. Now is this the same Yeshua or Jesus you believe in? Has your pastor read this in church where he called a Canaanite woman a dog? Or do you believe in this Jesus that's coming to save everybody when they say, Lord, forgive me on my deathbed? Not knowing their prayer is going to be an abomination, trying to cop out. How dare you come to the Most High on your last leg when you done evil your whole life expecting him to save you? You fooling yourself. This Jesus who loved everybody after you done wrong your whole life. Come on, man. It don't exist. That don't even exist in people today to love everybody. So how could you think the HaMashiach could love everybody, evil and good? Come on, oil and water don't mix. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to the dog. And she said, Truth, Lord. Yet the dogs eat the crumbs which fall off their master's table. Then Yeshua said unto the woman, O woman, great is thy faith. Be unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. So as you see, Yeshua was hung on a tree. Yeshua helped this woman, but she had to acknowledge her place as a dog amongst Israel. This is why Yeshua say a dog better not wag their tongue against Israel. But she acknowledged her place, and she acknowledged that Israel are the masters of the earth. And Yeshua blessed this woman and saved her daughter. I'm Base Jerusalem. This is the Hebrew Life again. Shalom, brothers and sisters.